Nope. Tries very hard.
It's 9 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to the Tuesday, September 30th, 2025 Eidelweiss Board of Commissioners meeting. The meeting's called to order, and the first thing we'll do is approve the agenda. And the question we have every week is, will we do a non-public session? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
And the reason?
We want to discuss vendors and we want to protect reputations.
Okay.
So with that modification, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now we move on to the approval of the minutes of the 23rd, last week. And I'll bring it up if,
Yeah, I found a couple of things.
what did you find? You can list
I know,
yours
it's
up.
like spelling things, just,
Yeah, there was one, the word beginning, I remember was not spelled correctly, and Microsoft was flagging that.
yeah.
Then at the very end, I know, oh,
Did you make a motion yet?
Not yet.
I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the, I thought I did. I said we're moving on to it, huh? I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the minutes of the 23rd.
Second.
So the word beginning
Yep.
needs to be fixed. I think in Jeff's report, the last bullet is talking about the piles of sand on Eidelweiss Drive.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, the two sentences says, these were placed by a homeowner, which we know.
Yeah.
Then the next sentence says, the sand belongs to the district.
Yeah.
I said that?
No,
No, I
What
said,
is that?
I said that, because I got the report that the homeowners took the sand that had built up from the winter,
Right.
that obviously came from our road crews, and they wanted it out, it was all piled up in the driveway, and they just put it on the opposite side of the road, so.
I might take
Free
a
sand.
shovel down there and just spread it out higher away from the ditch line. Just work it in, excuse me, working into the, so it doesn't drift back into the ditch.
Right.
I wish I had a pickup truck. I'd load it on my pickup truck, take it home.
Well,
You can still get a bucket.
yeah, all you need is buckets well loaded up,
Yeah, I don't have many buckets.
then we'll have to get buckets. And then at the very end,
Yeah.
we have the link to,
I know, it looks weird.
yeah, that, does it, you
Came from
recognize it at all?
YouTube. I did it 3 times and it still comes up the same way, but if you link it, it brings you to the.
I saw that.
It's weird.
It's not actually the link, it's text
I know.
that has the link embedded in it.
Yes.
Wow. That's interesting.
Looks like
I went
standing in
back 3
four.
times. It's really weird. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
so those, any other notes on the minutes?
No, I was
No.
good with them.
All in favor of approving them as modified?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on the minutes.
Yep.
At 9:03, we move to the first of 2 manifests. We have an operations and payroll manifest for $35,998.73. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, clearly the big one was the payment on the John Deere lease.
Yep.
Broken out between principal and interest. A grand total about, what, 22,000?
You probably didn't see an email I sent you on the John Deere tractor. I was hoping to catch you to see if you were near it, could get the hours.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Was that
Oh,
coming
yeah.
this morning?
Yeah, I
Oh.
was hoping.
It's
I
around
was kinda-
1,400, 1,500, not somewhere in that area.
And we get the leases for 3,000 hours, so we're not even halfway through. And
Or 5 years.
for 5 years, and next year
Or
it'll come
5
up on
years.
3 years that we've, so we're about 2.5 years into it, right?
We've had it longer than that.
No, 23, we got it in 2023.
No,
I don't
No.
think
No.
so.
no,
Oh, no, you're right, 2022,
Yeah.
you're right.
October 31st, it was.
Well, that was, we had it, but it wasn't approved by the warrant.
Right. we
That's
kinda
what's
had-
confusing
Right.
is,
Yes.
we got it the year before.
Right. So
And the
the
deal was,
clock started the year before.
Yes, in 2022.
they
Oh.
kinda leased it with the idea that it had to be ratified at the annual meeting,
Yes.
Right.
which it did. And then the actual official delivery date was October 31st of 2022. So we're coming into, what, tomorrow's the first day of October?
Yeah.
We're a month away from
3 years.
3 years.
And we're not even halfway through.
Well, that's deciding that we're more than halfway through.
Mm.
We're not halfway through the hours,
That's why I meant the hours.
but in this case, the hours are being elapsed by
The time.
Time.
The time.
Right, right, it's whatever comes first.
Right.
Right.
The time's gonna come first, most likely.
Yes.
So should we continue to talk
Huh.
about the John Deere now that we're into it and
Yeah,
into
we
your report,
could.
Well, we're kind of on the
the manifest?
manifest.
So yeah, we'll get
We're
through
making
that,
the
then we'll
payment.
go right
Yes,
back to
okay.
it.
So yes, we'll get through the manifest, then we'll go back and cover it.
Thank you.
And we'll cover it while you're here, because that's in my report, which is 3 steps down from here. Okay, we bought some stuff from Napa, which appeared to be windshield wipers for the
Yep.
International.
Yep.
$30 a piece for a windshield wiper. They're big.
You knew that. You knew that.
That's a good deal.
I always try to get the better ones that they have because you buy the cheaper
yeah.
quality, they just don't last.
No?
Not that these last either, but I try to get a better one.
And by definition, you're out in ice on the windshield, which
Right.
shortens wipers' lives. You need good wipers. We had the 7400 was fixed for an air leak in the middle of your projects last week.
Yep.
We got a bundle of grade stakes from Coleman,
Yeah.
flagging tape. We paid for the monthly fee for the lease of the scanner copier.
Yep.
We paid our share of the retirement
Mhm.
contribution.
Yep.
You bought 2 fancy do not trespass signs.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Walmart broke the bank.
We're killing wasps.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did the
Jen was-
trick,
Poor Jen
yeah.
was getting attacked every time she came in and out of the building.
Oh, it was right outside the,
Oh, geez, yeah,
Yeah.
right under that bush.
oh, yeah.
That spirea.
There was a report in the news this morning that due to the drought, there's a lack of flowers.
Mm.
Therefore, the bees are searching for anything sweet because they don't have enough honey built for the winter. So they're in desperate survival mode, which is why they seem to be all over anything they can get a hold of,
Been crazy this
including
year.
people.
Yeah, and then the warm weather again
Right.
brings them all like
And we're also, this is a payroll week that contributes to this.
correct.
Yes.
Any questions on this manifest?
No.
All in favor of approving the manifest, say aye.
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 3-0 on this manifest. Then we move to a manifest for the water system.
Yep.
And the dollar amount on that manifest is $48,081.50.
Yes.
Because that includes pre-printing the checks for a $55,405 water project that's starting next week to expand the water mains from where they dead end at 6 Aspen down to the intersection of Bergdorf, and then down Bergdorf to the dead end of the water main that comes up Bergdorf at number 5.
5.
So I just have a question on the procedures here. Okay, again, I'm going to go back to my private sector accounting. You know, for cash flow purposes, the planning is great, but it sounds like we're expensing. Are we actually expensing these amounts right now?
Yes,
Even though
yes.
we're not giving the check to them,
Correct.
it's not going to be cashed until he reaches those milestones in the completion of the project.
In the next 15 days.
Okay. All right. So I'm just wondering why we're expensing. We're not really expensing them, but we are from a paperwork standpoint, from a bookkeeping standpoint.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just. It's odd that it's done that way.
Well, we're committed to it contractually.
I know that.
And so we're writing the checks, and the checks won't be cashed until the contract says that they can be cashed.
Okay. I'm sorry. Again, it's just in that case. It should be
Well,
a
you guys
liability on the balance
you
sheet, but
guys
not an
only
expense to the P&L. But
Meet
it's
once
okay.
a
It
week
works.
to sign checks, so that's another
He's
component
just
that's.
concerned about
The matching principle.
what the accounting says, should somebody come and do an audit tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Right. They're going to say you paid for something that you haven't even received yet.
Correct.
And they have 10 days to find that issue.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm sorry.
I hope you won't
We-
lose
we-
sleep over it.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but
This-
again,
this-
my bing, bing, bing,
Yeah,
bing, bing.
yeah, it's the normal way
Okay.
going into a project to set up the first couple of checks based on the duration of the project.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just take a wee dram before you go to bed, and it'll be okay.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set up my own balance sheet, put that as a liability,
There you go.
and it changes into a draw on cash later. All right. Okay. Never mind. Just asking.
So it's 3 checks and then the $17 that the Registry of Deeds needs to record a release of lien on the non-water payment.
Correct.
And that totals to the $48,81.50.
Yep.
Any other questions on this manifest? All in favor of approving this manifest?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Now at 9/11, we move to the DPW report.
Did you send a
I did.
report this morning?
Yeah, Jen said she didn't have a chance to email them over.
She has
I
it if
got
you wanna read it.
Yes, she
I
has
have
some.
it
You're gonna get it, you're gonna get it later today.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so I've got them here. Let's go right to the blower, since we started that earlier. Well, so we talked last week, I got that information that I relayed to you from John Deere. And we were gonna, you guys talked about getting together and drafted up an email,
Well,
and I don't know where we were at with that.
I studied that, I was gonna call the service writer, but I studied the quote. And then I listened to the news and I listened to a retired general announce that John Deere lost $500 million last quarter. The John
Really?
Deere company is not doing well, and they haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
They're laying off hundreds of people. They're in a
Wow.
fight with the White House about the fact that they were moving jobs to Mexico. And they're fighting with the unions across the Midwest in Iowa and Illinois where they manufacture a lot of the stuff I used to. Then I went on and looked at a documentary about where John Deere is, and Caterpillar and Kubota are coming in with heavy marketing to take their core business away. They see blood in the water. So I kind of feel the same way about John Deere that I did about International Trucks when we went to buy the TerraStar. The company was
In trouble.
being sued by 3 major trucking organizations across the country. And they were being sued because of their emission controls overheating the trucks, and long story short, the truck that the voters were convinced to buy through misrepresentations, in my opinion, in the salesman's opinion from International, ended up having that truck catch on fire with you in it.
Wow.
So that's where my head is about investing in John Deere, down to our blower problem.
Right.
That's why I looked at the lease and figured out where we were. Like, were we far enough into this thing as how much value we putting on the extended warranty that we paid for, and what the extended warranty covers, and the details of how he described what he's going to do, which is basically just telling us how much he's charging us, not telling us exactly what he's gonna do. $1,000 for miscellaneous fittings, hoses, and ties. Well, what special fitting? So, in the documentaries I listened to, watched, the strategy of John Deere is to be there's a term for it in the industry. The country is trying to get car makers to allow non-dealerships to work on the product, fix the cars, like small shops being blocked out of that business deliberately by the strategy of the company. Well, John Deere is being heavily criticized by the entire agricultural as doing exactly that. And they're actually investing in moving away from having the farmer drive the equipment and having it all be completely automated.
What?
Even using drones over these huge pieces of equipment to go out and do these massive fields. The bottom line is, my gut is telling me,
Bring it to Albany, get it done.
well, I went down that road for a while,
Jeez.
right? So we're halfway through one way, can the
3/5 of the other.
can the hours catch up and pass the amount of time, which is winning right now, that we're more than halfway through the amount of time, the 5 years? So put a value on the John Deere backhoe, which hasn't been great for us, been kind of good recently, but it took a long time for them to straighten out the stabilizers. And
Yeah.
there's a couple other problems, but the stabilizers took forever, and that should be a straightforward.
That should have been an easy fix.
I mean, that's the heart of what the backhoe does.
Right.
So, all of the options I weighed out. We get rid of the John Deere tractor and get another tractor, start with a new clock. Where's the investment of the Eidelweiss dollars going with this? We're kind of trapped in the same way all of the entire agricultural industry is with John Deere, and they're trying to get out of John Deere. And this company's trying to get them out of John Deere to go to Caterpillar and to Kubota and others. What's the state of the blower? We blew the blower out several times with the O-rings. What happens if we pay John Deere and they do this retrofit that cost us the price, the original
$5,000.
price of the blower,
I know.
to make it work for the first time correctly with the John Deere blower? And if it doesn't work, can they say, you have a problem with the blower? You were blowing these O-rings out on this before, and that might be still what happens to it. So I'm looking at that and saying, I'm kind of leaning towards trading the blower in and getting a blower that works independently of whatever tractor it's on, which is what the town has. I'm trying to evaluate the risk of going down and following the John Deere quote and doing that custom work. I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of don't want to void the warranty and have Albany retrofit the stuff without John Deere even telling us exactly what they were going to do this. We can't even tell Albany. We can tell Albany what the blower company told us, which
Well,
most
what
like-
John Deere's gonna do is drill into the hydraulic tank and put a new fitting on there
What
for a
fitting?
line.
What
Well,
kind of
whatever the
line?
hydraulic line that's gonna need it, the 1 inch hydraulic line that's gonna need to be fed to the blower for the return.
They're not telling us what size they would do. We can assume they're gonna do exactly what the blower company told us to do, to drill the hole ourselves, or have Albany do it, in the size of the hose. That's
Right.
their claim of fixing the problem. John Deere's not saying that to us,
Right,
because of what everybody is accusing John Deere of doing, is doing everything they possibly can to not let you do it yourself.
right.
Across the country, that's what they're doing. They're hated for it now. It's not what John Deere used to do. They always used to charge a lot for anything. So, I guess it's gonna be what you think after I spell everything out that I went through in the last day looking at this.
Well, you mentioned an interesting, you said, are there blowers that can be purchased that operate totally independent of the machine that's towing it along?
That's what the town has. Costs
And-
twice as much as the original cost of our blower,
Yeah.
roughly.
Okay, so what are we talking about ballpark wise?
So I think we spent a little over I wanna say it was $6,600 to get the blower we have a few years ago.
Yeah, 5,800 sticks in my mind, but but then there could have been some other
$6,000, say
costs.
$6,000.
Okay,
Something along
And
those lines.
I heard that you thought that it may be $12,000 for the standalone version. We need to nail that down.
Yeah, I thought we had a price on that of, maybe upwards of 15, I can't really remember.
okay, so let's be conservative, let's say it's 15, and the John Deere quote to do what they said they were gonna do is what, 5,800, did you say?
5,800.
5,800, so, we're not quite halfway there on something new, but close. And like you said, your concern is that there's no guarantee that, that we could have John Deere do the work, and is it really gonna fix the problem, or are we still just gonna have more problems down the road? And they may shift the blame to us if,
Right, and if you're, to bring it to John Deere, you've got the towing expense,
Yeah,
you've
right.
got, there's other expenses.
Yes.
Right, you're looking at
Above and beyond.
$1,200 to have it
Right.
As
brought
well
back.
as how long are they gonna take to
Right.
fix it? There's, we,
I can tell you what the quote said, the minimum is gonna take.
yeah, the minimum's
At
gonna be
least a
what,
week.
2 weeks?
38 hours of labor.
Right.
And part of that is taking the cab off the machine to even get at the hydraulic reservoir. And I was thinking, they're set up to do things like that. They're lifting the cabs off all kinds of pieces of equipment down there. I'm not sure that any local shop, I wouldn't expect Albany Service Center to have a rig that makes it easy for them to take the cab off. And then what happens when you take the cab off and all the connections to the controls, I don't know how it's all cabled up.
what else can go wrong?
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Even with John Deere, the
Right.
OEM doing the work, they're not infallible.
And how long it took them to fix the stabilizers.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Are we
Again
into the
and
winter
again.
time now without the John Deere tractor
Oh,
being
I
here
agree.
to lower?
right, and when we sent the grader to them.
So now you're in sync, now you're going
Yeah.
down the path I went down trying to figure this
Yeah,
out.
because when
Okay.
we went sent the grader to them, it was supposed to be less than a month, and it was 3 or 4 months later before we got the thing back.
And the
So
batteries
it
got
took-
stolen while it was
Yeah.
down there, and now we have to pay for the cable.
Right.
Exactly,
It just doesn't
It's
end.
another thing.
exactly.
So let's
So-
just figure this out.
All right,
What, how much was proposal, does anybody remember that, how much that was?
You're asking about the John Deere proposal?
Yes.
I
yeah,
have it
well,
right here.
it was at 5,800, but that didn't include, like you said, transportation
Right.
costs,
Right,
Time that we don't have the
time that we don't
machine,
have on the
yeah,
machine.
yeah, right,
And then, you know something, there's always those, oops, we found something else that needs
Yes,
some work on, and
yeah.
it's gonna cost you X amount to repair it. And guess what, you have no choice, because we can't put it all back together unless you make these
Yeah.
repairs.
that's a lot.
So there's a
no
lot of unknowns
guarantees.
there. And so the question is the John Deere right now, other than the fact that it can't operate the blower, is operating okay?
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I heard you were kind of like, if I understood you
Right.
correctly, you were thinking not next year, but when the 5 years is over, maybe trading it in and looking at a new machine that's a lot more reliable, or just,
And if you go down that far into thinking ahead, do you want the blower solution to restrict what you can get on the market at the end of the John Deere's life? because you bought something that makes the blower dependent upon the make and model of what you're buying? Or would you rather have one that will go on any machine that you buy?
Yeah, I like the idea of an independent blower, so it's not tied to the backhoe, the
Right.
machine itself. That-
Or specifically to this one,
Or
because
specifically
we
this one.
customized it?
Right. No, I think we should investigate the independent blower. And, because the way you're presenting it, and I have to agree now that you put that the John Deere is a risky route to go if we decide to let them do the work. I mean, it may all work out exactly as planned, but that's a big unknown. We've seen before that with the grader and other things, there's always one of those, oops, there's something else, there's something else, there's something else.
So if we wanna go down the path a little bit, just to communicate about it, we would need to contact the dealer of the blower and get a price on it. Then we would also have to know how we're gonna finance it and when we're gonna do this.
Right.
And is there any sort of, I'm not gonna call it trade-in value, but resale value of our existing blower?
I would think they, yes.
Somebody should be able to use that. Give us some bucks to offset the.
Particularly if they own a Caterpillar backhoe, which that blower was made to attach to.
Wow.
Well, that's it. I mean, there's a market for it. Like again, pros and cons to everything, and that's what you're
Trying to
going.
weigh out.
That's what you're doing here,
Yeah.
and you make a good point for this, and yeah, that blower when we had it working properly worked great. The independent one, and I'm not knocking this in any ways. Again, pros and cons type of thing, and I'm not leaning either way. You do have an independent motor that has to run that. Motor has fuel. You know what I mean?
Needs to be
Carburetors get
maintained.
plumbed up. There's
Serviced.
maintenance. There's oil. Again, it just this is what you're doing. There's a shaft that it runs off. And those types of things. Where this one, you got hoses. But again. Is there a market for it? Will somebody buy it? Yeah, I mean, a trade-in value would be great. Would Coleman's maybe be interested in purchasing this thing off of us and adding it to their rental fleet because they have one just like it? That might be a possibility to get a few dollars out of it. Because they run CAT equipment and all their stuff set up properly for it. They know the return line that they need and all that type of stuff. They work on their own equipment. So there may be an avenue of getting rid of it.
Or trading it in.
Right, towards a purchase price of something else. So I think you're right, there has to be research on what would the type of Madison, the town of Madison's type,
Not being
cost.
familiar with this equipment, is the independent one, is that like a self-driven one? You guys
No.
Yeah.
drive it, or it's?
No, it attaches like the same way ours would.
Okay, yeah.
It attaches to the front of a piece of equipment.
Right.
And the thing is, there's no hoses. There
Right,
might
there's
be a
no-
line
there's no connection, yeah.
for the electric chute to because the chute's got to move that you run up into the cab, and then there's a motor on it. You pull start it or electric start your motor on the motor that's built right into the blower itself. So it looks just like ours, but there's a motor built right onto the blower itself. Where ours just, like I said, you plug in a couple of hydraulic hoses to the front of the machine, and away you go. There would be, you'd have to add fuel to it, fire her up. And away you go till your gas tank runs out, and then you fill it up again, and away you
So
go.
it's a simple gasoline engine.
Yes.
So it sounds like it's a whole lot less complex than the current blower that relies on the hydraulics or the pneumatics from the John Deere.
Well, whether it's complex or not, but yeah, it runs off the motor itself. That's built into the blower
Right.
itself.
In the same way, you can get a Sanders spreader that runs off the hydraulics of the truck or runs off its own gas-powered motor.
Right,
We've had both.
right.
So one thing we could do is try to see the one that Madison has, so you have a picture of what
Right.
the general category looks like.
Right.
Whether that's the model we're getting or not. Then there's timing. We would like to have the solution now, but we don't. But we didn't cause this problem. This is another one we're solving. That we were given.
Right.
And
just
realistically,
curious.
right now, the budget is still in very good shape.
I'm just curious, did the blower work fine with the old Volvo?
To
Yes.
cover the 15?
After they customized the Volvo.
Yeah.
They had to drill the tank for the Volvo
Right.
to bring the pressure down as well.
Right.
And that was done at Albany Service. So like I said, Alan is aware of how to make this work. He's done this. He knows what he's doing to create this, to solve the issue with the backhoe, with the John Deere, the current backhoe.
Right, but
The
we-
problem is the warranty.
Right, we have a
Right.
hand
So,
side on the back.
so
because-
as far as our
Basically-
local guy, he's more than capable of taking care of this problem. And, you know, he did it for the Volvo. So,
We're 55% of the way through the warrant, we have 45% left.
right.
Or 2 years.
Right, 2 years time-wise and another 1,600 miles for hours, 1,600 hours.
Right.
Well,
And we don't know what it would cost to have Alan do it.
Right, I don't know what
Yeah.
that cost is.
so for next week, could we get a quote from Alan
Okay,
for what Alan would cost and
get a price.
put
for it.
together a price for the independent one?
Get a quote on
As a
a
trade-in?
self-driven,
Yeah.
self-powered
Yes,
blower
Mhm.
attachment.
yeah, because without those numbers,
Yeah,
we, you know,
Yeah.
don't have everything.
Just
we
chewing
need.
we
the fat.
don't have everything we need to put the puzzles together.
Okay, so you want to keep the minutes, we want Albany Service Center to quote on drilling and putting a fitting on the hydraulic tank of the John Deere and a new hose system out to the blower attachment.
So if I understand correctly, the blower that we do have basically has been no-go for almost 3 years. The problem cropped up right away.
Yeah,
with the new
since we
John
got
Deere.
rid of the, since we got rid of the Volvo.
October, well, yeah, the Volvo stayed around
Right, for a while, we had both.
for almost a better part of the year.
Yeah.
Until we
So,
finally sold it.
Okay, okay.
So they weren't using the John Deere, they were using.
right, when I needed to use the blower, we used the Volvo. But since that's
Which we
been gone,
desperately had to get rid of, but then kept it for a long time.
I wanted to keep it.
No kidding. It was all push shit for even getting rid of it.
I like the fact having something as a backup, you know, I mean,
Yep.
Well,
or multiple purpose.
we'll get you 2 or 3 graders too.
Right.
Well, that one was paid for though.
You still
But
have
no,
to
I mean, you know, so that,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get those figures and, you know, reconvene on this, I guess, but, I've got some pictures of the one that Madison has, and I'll just call up Buffalo Turbine, you know, and see what they can.
Do you know if that's the make of what they have?
Yes, it's
Oh,
the
it is.
same thing.
Okay.
I might walk over and see if there's anybody there
Yeah,
after we sign papers upstairs at the end
Yeah,
of this
we-
meeting.
Yeah.
Colleen.
Sure.
but, so that's where that's at.
Okay.
We wanna
Alright.
move forward here?
Yeah.
Yep.
'cause-
All right, let me talk about the grader. So, yeah, so when they had the grader last year, we all know what all went down. So the batteries got so I sent that email because I hadn't heard back from them. I just wanted to kind of see where we were going with that. Then I talked with the guys yesterday, the service manager, and they didn't do anything different to those cables. So what we're seeing, I don't know if it's old age, it just broke up, you know, what it is there's the wires come out of the battery box, which is on top of the tandems in the back of the grader, and they go out the back and then down in between there, and the wires are cased with this big rubber, big plastic is what you saw in the pictures if you saw those, and then you could see that crack in those pictures. I stuck my finger up in there as best as I could get up in there, and in between there's another thin thing of plastic that covers the wires, and then the casing on the wires. So I don't want the wires to rub on the metal and it get exposed, because that's a bad thing.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to avoid. So I was thinking that maybe this was something that they'd cover, because they had the machine last year, the batteries got stolen on their watch, but they didn't do anything from what he told me, except put new batteries in
Right.
with everything that was there. I was under the impression that those cables got cut, but he said that they didn't replace the cables. He had the documents and the paperwork right there, and there was no record of them replacing the cables or cutting the cables back or anything like that. They just reattached batteries to it. So Andy said it's beyond the year, so it's not on them. But we're gonna have to get them up here to take a look at this and make it safe again.
So is that just a bad design? I'm looking at the picture.
Well, I don't know if it's just that thing got old and dry rotted and it just started to
We're talking
crack.
about the
What is
squeeze
it?
between two sharp surfaces there.
Oh,
What is this
That's
cable
a bad
made of?
design.
This
That's just a cable wrap.
that's a wrap,
That's
cable wrap.
plastic
Yeah.
hose type.
yeah, it's like
Flexible hose.
some kind of hose that the cables go through.
And is this piece actually chafing against the electrical cables right now?
Not right now, but it chafed through that, so
Yeah, it's cut through.
could it chafe through the electrical
Yeah,
cables
it's
is what
working
I'm
on it. Of
course it
concerned
could.
about, and I don't wanna run the grader until I have this done.
Gotcha.
But what we're just saying is we get a new shield sleeve and it's back to a bad design with two sharp edges on either side of it.
Right.
Well, that's my point of getting them out here to redesign this, or did it, again, I don't know. I mean, if it lasted for 12 years like this, and it didn't rub through it, and it, is it just that it dry
my question
rotted out? I don't know.
If it's happening to us, it certainly has happened to every other exact same model grader with the same design that others own. They must have some sort of solution that's better than the original sort of way of shielding it, I would think.
We don't know, we need this fixed. You're gonna-
Again, I've asked these questions, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, or like I said, could it just be that the thing is old and dry rotted?
Did they quote how much it's gonna be to make these cables right?
No, I mean, he's gotta come out and look at it, and for them to come out, I mean, he's got some solutions.
Did we send these pictures to them?
I did. So they know what's going on, they have a solution, and my question to them is the same thing you're asking, is there a way we could do this, so if this did rub and chafe as the machine was running and create this problem, then what's our solution to fixing that, so I'm not dealing with this in a year from now or 6 months from now? Or is
10
it
years
something
from now.
that happened from over time
Right.
and the rubber just got old and brittle?
Doesn't look to me like steel in the batteries got down, affected this. This looks like wear and tear in a design where there's two surfaces that are vibrating and are gonna eat at that slowly for 10 years. And so they're gonna fix this, and it'll be another 10 years before it's a problem again. And we'll all be long gone, and nobody will be here to say, we had that problem before.
Right, and that's again, they said they didn't touch anything back there.
They didn't
So
have
this
to.
is how it's been since we've owned the machine
Yeah.
since
Right.
2012.
Right.
So like I said, so I couldn't continue my tough guy speech to them
No,
and to
true.
try to get them to
Right.
do it for nothing, and send a guy out here. But I think we do need to get the guy out here to fix this problem.
Okay.
And they've got a solution in mind, and like I said, if it is something that can be rewired so it's not rubbing, if perhaps it was rubbing, then they said they'll take a look at that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we have Jeff pursue getting this cable problem fixed by Volvo. Chadwick Bay Ross.
Second.
Thank
Further
you.
discussion?
Nope.
How do you vote?
Aye.
3-0 on getting Chadwick to fix this. Now, did we move away from, Nancy was indicating that she looked at the budget during one of our discussions, and that was about the blower. Did we can bring that back up when we get the numbers again.
Yeah, when we have the numbers next week, I'm
I don't know if
just,
you heard her say that the
Yes.
budget's looking good.
Yeah, no, the budget's looking good. We
Right.
reviewed it not that many weeks
Now
ago
on to
now
the-
again.
right.
On to the next thing with Jeff's report.
So, we're installing that culvert pipe on Briston Stock. Driveway.
Driveway, yes.
Yeah, so that's going smooth. We did add that extension, I think I already mentioned that last week on that other,
7 Middle Shore.
on Middle Shore.
I went down and looked at it with Jake.
Yeah,
Looks like there's gonna be further erosion. We fixed the problem you fixed the problem nicely with the pipe going
Right.
past the shut off. But the original problem that the homeowner was talking about was the erosion that was happening across the mouth of the driveway. I think it's gonna upset the work that you did next to the pipe as it
Oh.
rips.
yeah, so some ditching needs to be, on that road.
Something to slow the water down in that area.
Right, yeah, so there's some ditching that needs to be involved there and some more fun work.
I'm noticing Jake is showing me driveways on Middle Shore that habitually cut a trench across the road. One of them is down across from Geneva Beach, number 10, Middle Shore. And then there's another one further up. There's actually more of them if you go up the paved hill.
Yep.
There's driveways.
Yeah, that area needs attention.
So we should identify those, and they should have exits to their driveways like you guys did to mine, where it's,
Right.
that would solve the problem.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that road is on the list of getting kind of smoothed over before winter.
Okay.
Not like I said, not a complete overhaul and not a, total fix here, but it's definitely rocky and needs some gravel to be.
Protect the plows.
To protect the plows, but yes, you're right about some of those driveways and water running into the road.
And then next year we'll do permanent fix if we can.
Right. So we did Blendon. We got those parts of Blendon ditched out to get the water off the road and to fix the hill, and we got that going. We're just about done. We were laying the gravel out on it like we wanted to do, and that's when the air let go on the big truck on us, so we kind of had to put the halt on that, but we just have a few more loads of gravel up the hill to West Bergamo there, and then that's gonna be behind us. So we'll get back at that, finish that one off. Which parts of that? So on the grader as well, I gotta get back to the grader real quick. So we've noticed this doing, Tony noticed that wire thing doing his walk around before we got started one day. The defroster wasn't working on the thing, and the console pulls in towards you when you run the grader, and then it locks in place so you can run it at your, convenience or what's comfortable for you. Well, there's like a little piston down there and a locking mechanism and a foot pedal to release it and all that. It's free floating. It's not locking in place. So we did order the piston and the locking mechanism from Chadwick that should be showing up. We're feeling that we could fix that ourselves. So there will be something that's coming, some parts coming for that. We did fix the defrost ourselves. We tore into that, got the dashboard apart, and noticed a wire had somehow got unplugged, so we were able to fix that ourselves. And then moving forward, yeah, just got to get some spots ready for Will. We're gonna expose the ledge. I mean, obviously he knows where the ledge, or we found, we know where the ledge is and all. But after walking through with him, we knew we're gonna expose it a little bit more for him and kind of getting that prepped up in the next couple, this week, next week. Knowing he's coming, I know that's all set up and ready to go. So, yeah, we dug some turnouts that were gagged up on Oak Ridge, cleaned them out to get the water to flow. It's just all about getting the water to flow, in the right spots and getting it off the roads. There was some piles that at the time when we had Belmore here that we piled up just to, keep things moving real quick. So we've been addressing cleaning them up, that type of stuff. And like I say, laying some gravel out in spots, we addressed that one up on Presidential today, which Jen let them know that, there's gonna be a better fix coming down the road here once we get that ledge blasted out and those types of things. But we did have to go and smooth some things over, so we took care of that.
Can you bring the ledge that's cracked over to the big ditch on Bristol paved hill? I think that big sharp riprap would do wonders for slowing down water coming down that hill.
Yeah,
During that rain, I drove around with the Pike Industries estimator, and I was surprised by being able to see the water flowing down that ditch from my car.
yeah, you got all them paved ditch lines, which are awesome, but that shoots the water down in that spot pretty good. And that's it, talking to Will about it, I'll talk more with him about it and see what he thinks about how it would work for something like that. I know you have to be careful with that stuff because it's sharp, not that we're driving any kind of machines in there or anything, so it could be a huge candidate for
You
that.
want sharp stuff in a ditch like that.
Right.
It creates more turbulence, which is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so if he thinks that's a go, he did say it works for certain things, So I got no problem.
He'd have to see the Briston stock ditch, and he would, I'm sure that's what I see them using everywhere.
Yeah.
All the states across the country would load a ditch like that. What they did, look at the size of the stuff they put in the ditching on 113.
Right,
Right.
and that's all, you know, riprap, processed material, you know, I mean, you gotta look at, this stuff isn't processed,
No,
you know what I mean? I mean, I know, but I know what you're saying, you know,
it kind of is.
yeah, but no,
We're
you
not
know,
manufacturing it to a certain size,
right,
but he's going to break it down so it can be loaded by a backhoe, and that's the size we want I think over in Briston stock.
yeah,
And you're not driving too far. It's a shorter drive than getting it over to Albany, for example. That's what
yeah,
I'm trying to
oh,
avoid.
no, I agree with stuff like that. You know, you get a quicker turnaround time, but, yeah, so just like I say, that's kinda where we're
Can you
at.
make a note to take a look in front of 55 Eidelweiss Drive?
50, yep,
Um, it's a little ways, it's near Little Loop
yep,
on the other side of the road. That driveway may have caused the road, the gravel road, to pot up.
yep,
And the mouth of that driveway may need to be made so that the water doesn't run out into the road off that driveway. It doesn't do that all the time. I don't know if that driveway got modified, just the part where it's paved, but the gravel part from where it leaves the road is a perfect ramp up to the pavement.
Right.
In other words, the water can come right down into the road. And it used to, when it was first built, it used to shed the water, it curves in front of the house
Yeah.
like this. It used to shed the water off the driveway before it even got down to the road. And now it looks like, you guys can look at it and see whether you.
55, yep,
And it happened right after that last rain we had,
yep.
55, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've
You
got.
got- Under DPW is the water inventory. You have a note here?
Oh, yep,
Yeah, he sent a bunch of pictures. I mean, there's a lot of pictures.
So, I want to find time to look at OneDrive on the office computers and set up the water system on it. And also, there should be folders on OneDrive where all of Jeff's pictures go by category. When he takes pictures of roads, it should go into Jeff's pictures of roads.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
folders that are labeled by the road and
Yeah.
by the house number of it. And the same with the water system. They can even overlap. This is the way that we stop losing information as it's happening when we capture it. And it can't be a SQL Server application that does it.
No,
It's gotta be Excel spreadsheets and pictures and categorized by the location. So, we'll set up a folder for the inventory of the water room. We'll set up a folder for the pictures he takes of ditch work and where it is by the house number. So that's what we're heading towards.
What do you mean, house number?
If you
like
take,
today, I'm gonna take pictures of 31 Briston stock.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
he took pictures of 7 Middle Shore.
Right.
Well, 2
And I
years from
sent
now, if we
them.
wanna go back and look
Yep.
at that, we know that
Yeah,
it's at
but-
7 Middle Shore, not.
I thought we were talking about inventory.
Well, this is all the same kind of system as, he's not gonna manually inventory, cause we don't know the part numbers or
We
where they
have
came.
no idea, it's just pictures
He's
of
taking pictures of
stuff.
it, and so this is gonna be a folder that has the pictures of the DBW2 room.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's easy enough, but.
Yeah.
We had a problem before where somebody, years ago, we had a theft of a lot of product, and we showed them pictures of what we took of the room,
Wow.
and the insurance company said, fine,
yep,
we'll pay it out on this.
Right.
That's all we want. And by the fact that you're taking pictures, you have a better feel of what that room has in it at any given point, by going in there.
That means we gotta
kinda
take pictures
chaotic.
periodically, because
Yes.
Yeah.
Simply Water is gonna be taking parts out of there.
And no one knows
There's no
more,
real order
more when that's happening
At
than
all.
Jeff
The
does.
stuff is
Yeah.
randomly just placed in different areas, there's no
We'll get to that.
real
Right.
order, okay.
After we get this set up where we have the picture system
Yeah.
and the data system, then we're gonna actually address how that room is organized and how the room up at the cabana is changed, that has all the pipe in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get to that too. We just need time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just how many parts are in that water system in
A lot.
about
Just
hundreds
tons.
Yeah, lots.
or dozens?
I'd say more than dozens.
Didn't
I
you
wouldn't
go in
say
there and
hundreds.
look?
I wouldn't say hundreds.
No, but
There's
I
some
mean,
significant things, like some of the, well, we shouldn't,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard saying.
Yeah.
that's why we're gonna take pictures of it.
Right. But I think what you're saying is
But
down
we
the
don't know
road,
what
we
it
should have a
is.
handle on what's there, so that when,
We don't.
Down the road.
down the road,
Yes.
in other words, understand what those parts are.
Well, and then that's tracked by, capturing the paperwork of the stuff the water operator is buying and matching that up to what it is and where it is in the room. We can't do that right now.
Right.
No.
Right.
We have to get organized, then we can start the process of capturing that when it happens, and then it
Right.
builds.
Yep.
I hope.
Yes.
Um, I haven't got back from the crack sealer people that asked me if we wanted it done this year. I gotta follow up with them. The crest got down, you saw that off the front of the DPW too,
Yep.
and Warren Klein put the snow guards up.
Okay.
But he didn't send you an invoice for him to be in this manifest.
I believe
Not,
you put
he
the
sent
guards
it
up
this
too.
morning,
He did.
but it's not in this manifest, because
Right.
it was only sent 8:30 this morning.
Too bad he didn't get it to you yesterday. All right, next week, next 2 weeks. I think that's all I have.
Okay.
You have anything else for Jeff?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll get back at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see ya.
Tell them they did a great job on Blendon. Where Blendon comes down gravel into the ravine. You should see that. Looks like what they did on Appinville Way.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, if we could get back up the hill, and get that finished off, it's gonna really look, they're happy up there. I spoke to a couple of the homeowners.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
What a difference that made.
Thank you.
Tell them great job.
Okay.
Okay, so now at 9:51, we move to commissioners' reports.
Mm-hmm.
I drove around with the, too bad I didn't tell him that, I'll tell him that later. I drove around with the Pike estimator. We didn't get out of the car, it was raining. He didn't need to get out of the car. I had the printouts from FEMA that had the locations with the GPS coordinates, had the number of cubic yards of asphalt that the shoulder needed, the length and the width, and he took those with him. I haven't heard back from him yet, I have to ping him to make sure. He was talking like maybe the schedules could get us time this fall. He didn't rule that out, saying it's way too late for, which is why he may have showed up. So we drove down some roads and I couldn't see where it is that FEMA wanted that shoulder fixed. But the GPS coordinates are there. I told him he could go back to his computer and Google would show him which side of the road it was actually. There were leaves on the road. It was wet and
Yeah.
it just wasn't recognizable. So the trick is to get them to come in, to commit to doing work this fall. We looked at Lugano, and whereas we told the water operator to put a valve in and disconnect, have it so he can shut off the 3/4 inch main that runs down to the 8-inch main.
Mhm.
I'm now looking at the way that road could get left by them if they actually went ahead and changed the service line from that house to the 2-inch line that's on Lugano now.
Oh,
And don't put the curb valve off the 8-inch main, because we don't need something that turns on and shuts off. We need a lower cost fixture that permanently shuts off that 3/4 inch main that comes out of the 8-inch main. And then hook the house up properly to the 2-inch main that comes down Lugano. And then if everything goes right, Pike comes and fixes the pavement in both locations.
yeah.
That's why I'm thinking we should go ahead and if we can get the water operator to do the work and change the service line to the main, then hopefully we can catch it with the asphalt that comes in and fixes that up for the winter.
That would be nice.
So I'm gonna make a motion that I contact the water operator and see if they can change the plan and correct the service line out to the 2-inch main and permanently shut off the 3/4-inch line into the 8-inch main without a curb valve, just put a cap on it.
Yeah.
Close it.
Okay, so ultimate correction right away.
Yep.
The long-term
Total
solution.
fix for
Yep.
the Lugano problem.
Makes sense.
And that's all driven by, now I see how the asphalt could get done. It'll backfire if pipe can't come this fall, now we got more exposed. And maybe I'll work that out with the DPW, with getting asphalt and renting a roller.
Or if he does come in, that would be like the top priority road before anything else.
First thing they do, yeah,
Right.
which is not reimbursable by FEMA, the rest of it is. So if they come in, they're gonna wanna do it all.
Yeah,
It's
that
all
makes sense.
handwork, by
Yeah,
the way.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, they'd want to just do the entire job.
It's not having a dump truck dump hot asphalt into a spreader. There's no spreader, it's guys with wheelbarrows putting it in the 4x8 and then rolling it, raking it and rolling it, all handwork, which the labor's gonna be expensive. So I think I have a motion to, ask the water operator to do the total fix of the service line to the 2-inch main.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on that. And I'll stop there and interrupt you when you start yours.
All right, not much to report. I took my ride with Jeff last week in the International, the truck we'd like to get replaced sooner or later, hopefully with some funding help. I kind of told him, we gotta keep this thing cobbling along for at least another year through 2026. Because the green program, it ends at the end of 2026. You could get monies before if they do award us monies, but nonetheless, I think we're still looking at trying to keep that operating, perhaps for up to another year. So, at some point, since I'm not really all familiar with these types of trucks, Jeff advised that we should take a look at the what Madison has, which is not an International, it's a Western
Star.
Western Star. He was agnostic as to what he would like for a replacement truck, but we should take a look at the alternatives. And what meets our needs, and I guess that's going to really take going down to a showroom wherever they sell these things, because I have no idea on that side what the replacement costs are. The new
Western
costs.
Stars are expensive.
Very
They're
expensive.
high-end quality.
Okay,
They're a truck driver's truck.
they're truck driver's truck. Okay,
Of course, they all are. And I like to pay attention to the servicing of them, where the service departments are located and
right, as we know.
what kind of reputation they have this year. So you need to know there's somebody that has a Western Star, and if these guys say that they can tell us, they have one of everything, I think, so they know what all the service companies do here.
Right.
Okay, then,
Right, and they know what they're having problems with and what they're not. You know?
all right, well then, that's on my to-do list, to talk to them.
I don't think they've repurchased Western Stars though. We have to find out
We
what
can-
they've been
yeah.
doing for the last few years. And I just saw Goob on the way in, I have to catch up with Goob.
So what are the other brands? Yeah, Western Star International, and I think there's one other big one.
There's Mac.
Mac?
Right, Mac. Okay.
Those are big money. But any of these.
They're all big money.
Any of these trucks are big money.
They're big money, they're all
We'll
big
have
money.
to find
But
out.
I think, as Mark said, I think that's key, is let's not worry too much about the upfront purchase price. Let's be concerned about the aftermarket repair and maintenance
Yep,
of these things.
yep, it makes a
Because
difference.
if you're gonna invest the big bucks, you gotta make sure it keeps going in the future.
One of the strategies that we adopted from the longtime road agent for Eaton years ago was he would buy Ford 1-tons. And that was solely driven by the fact that McDonald Motors was a short drive from here. He did it all based on maintenance. And you couldn't put a wing plow on him, but he bought the big plow that went on the front that would throw the snow way off the road. Well, other versions of boards of commissioners and highway department people came, and all of a sudden the Ford was not acceptable anymore. Now we're into Rams with wings, and the Rams with wings perform well for us.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is getting it serviced. Well, lo and behold, the guy in Eaton that advised us years ago had some rhyme and reason to the way he did things. So anyway,
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
we'll examine this when we go through buying this stuff. All set, Woody?
I'm all set. Yeah.
All right. So, saw an email this week. Third-party electric. I have
Yeah.
no interest in getting into that type of agreement. So,
What don't you like?
I saw that email, yeah.
I like the way they focus on the couple of years that the district actually made money and simply ignore the 6 years that we lost money.
Huh?
Whoa,
So,
I did not know this.
yeah. So the third party electric just really doesn't seem to work with the pump houses.
And is that because you sign up for a period and things change and now you're
Yes.
stuck with them?
Yes, and then
No.
you're stuck with it.
Now, the last time we did this, we had the mixed board and I was looking at joining the coalition.
Right.
And we signed a shorter term one with whatever the third party company was.
Right.
Do you wanna see if we can sign a shorter term one that doesn't lock us into something where we're losing money because the rates changed or just stay away from it altogether?
I would probably think we'd be better off staying away from it.
Okay.
Because it's predictable, what we have now
Because-
is predictable.
Exactly.
And so for budgeting purposes, you know, I know saving money is always good, but at the same time, if it's gonna do something in the future that we can't project, and all of a sudden, ooh,
Right, and they
we don't want
usually
surprises.
really push like the 1 year term, and you can have 2 rate changes from the electric company in that time frame. And are you on the winning end or the losing end when those change, you know? So it's a gamble. It's a gamble. So yes, as they say in their email, there have been years that we did well with it, and saved some money. But it's a big enough gamble. It made me go, I don't know if we want to do that right now, especially not with, we're coming into winter, so we already know the current rates, you know? If we did want to look at a short term, we could make sure that we're gonna be on the winning for 6 months or something.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a lot of time for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know if anybody has a lot of time to look at stuff like that.
I did forward the email to Larry Sodano and Alistair Hewitt.
Okay.
They were following the coalition
Uh-huh.
until Eversource dropped the rate and the
Right,
coalition
right.
was too expensive.
Right.
Which was shocking.
Yep.
And I haven't followed what the coalition has done in response to that. But I think what's happening also is Eversource may have dropped the rate and now see that they have to raise it again
Yes.
because their costs, along with everybody else in the power
Yeah.
industry, costs have gone up since they dropped the rate. But the other thing Eversource is doing is paying attention to raising the rate of the cost of distribution, which you can't get away from.
Right, that's
No
gonna be
matter
what it
third party
is.
broker you use Eversource to make sure the wire is coming to
Right.
Correct,
the buildings, so.
correct.
maybe I'll check with Alistair and Larry if they wanna continue to look at this stuff.
Yeah, if they have any, or if they have a recommendation, if they've looked at any of it, and if they have recommendations, then we can get that by an email, and follow through again next week.
The existing bills to see what kind of quotes they can provide on the, whatever, like, short term.
Do you wanna, have, it's not a big deal for you to send them copies of the bills.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
So, if Jennifer sends them copies of the bills, I'll make a motion to see if you wanna do this. That Jennifer sends them a copy of the bill and a quote on a 6-month.
Yep,
second. Yeah, let's see what the numbers are.
yeah,
Further
I mean-
discussion on that?
doesn't cost anything to do that.
Right,
All in favor?
aye,
So this just, aye, did this just come through unsolicited?
3-0, yes. Well, it appears that way.
No,
Well-
it's the same gentleman that
It's-
was in contact with us back when.
it's,
Oh.
But he
we
can't-
used him for many, many years.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he went through his list and decided to contact you and say. he
yeah,
wanted
he's
to do another
reached
deal
out to us.
several
A
times.
couple times,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And, okay, well, yeah, the other thing I have is on the water turn-off notice. But you have that down here for the date to post, so we can talk about it then.
Okay,
So that'll be that.
okay, great.
Did you have a chance to look at the drawings that I inserted into your latest draft? To notice whether the quality was better than the old pictures that were there from?
I have not.
One of the things, if and when you do, I've been bringing our attention to the fact that the drawings all want to show that there's ditches on each side of the driveways.
Yes,
And if you look at the pictures, then I'd like to see if we should have the text say that, not leave it to interpretation of the picture to know that we really want ditches on either side of the driveways.
and one of the other things I did notice in those pictures is one of the pictures refers to the entrance of a driveway at 24 feet. And the ordinance currently says
20?
20,
Huh,
The picture says
Um,
24?
but the picture says 24. So
We can change that.
So there is a couple of things, you know,
Okay.
and so there will be a couple of other things that we'll have to finalize on that.
So you'd like the picture to say 20, the illustration?
Yeah, if we can.
yeah.
Alright. Just one of them says that?
Yeah, I think it's exhibit 3.
Alright. That it?
Yep,
Okay, so now at 10:06, we move to the SCADA system, and we'll talk about that in non-public session.
yes,
Yes.
And we see there's no scheduled public appearances, and we move to the administrator's report at 10:07. Turn off notice, date to post.
yeah, I did get a look at the notice as it was sent, and I agree with,
Mark, yeah,
the changes so that it includes the dollar amount that is currently due. And there was another one that,
late fees.
Yeah, a lot of
yes.
times people will pay you what the last invoice said without the penalty fees that have been accumulating for the time
Yep.
it is.
Right,
So we want to spell that out.
Yep,
So how many individual notices as of right now are we scheduled to put up?
there's still 5.
yeah,
5, okay. So we're gonna customize them to each house what they
No,
owe on that?
There's,
No,
no, you wouldn't wanna post on
okay,
The
indicating what
invoice
they
she sends them
owe,
will be,
right.
yeah.
so when do we wanna post it?
doesn't the ordinance say? So we follow?
Well, she said after the 1st,
Right,
Tomorrow's the 1st.
tomorrow's the 1st.
Well, let's see. So you want to do it later this week?
Yeah.
On the
I-
first of
I
the-
do.
You wanna get them out there?
Yeah,
And these are gonna go on colored paper?
yes,
Yeah, the bright pink works really well.
uh-huh,
It's very noticeable.
So
We
what works for you, Werda?
I can do either tomorrow afternoon, more like mid-afternoon. Thursday's out completely, and I'm pretty flexible on Friday.
Wednesday at 2?
I can do that.
Wednesday at 2?
Roadshow.
so all three of you, are you participating in this?
Well, that's what we did last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I,
went out, had a
oh,
little-
I
Yep.
didn't.
Had a little party.
We harmonize.
Gotcha.
Hello, hello.
All right, so do I need to post this?
We could extend this.
Well,
meeting.
it's tomorrow, so we can
Extend this meeting.
recess.
Recess.
Put in the
the
minutes that we're
public.
recessing
Yep.
into non-public session, and
Gotcha.
then recess into tomorrow to
Yeah.
post.
To
5
post
houses.
notice it to,
5 houses.
yep,
Okay, 2 p.m. tomorrow.
So if people wanna catch us in a public meeting at the office at
Yeah.
2,
Right.
they can before we pick these up from you and head
Certainly.
out.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that takes care of administrator's report, so now at 10:10, we go to old business, 47 Hotwell. And we'll discuss that in non-public?
yes.
Yes.
And I think I need to take pictures of the current state of Class 6 Adelboden, and those need to get sent to the attorney?
Correct.
Yes.
So I'll do that this afternoon.
All right.
Okay.
I could have done that already, but I didn't. Okay, so now at still 10:10, we go to the auditor's representation letter, signatures.
Yep.
Yes, and I think you sign it and the treasurer signs it.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
I'll bring that with the checks,
Yes,
and so I'll work on these checks too.
and it's a pretty standard letter, so we sign them every year.
Doesn't need a motion, we just sign it?
Oh, it's,
Done.
everything should be done through a motion.
We don't motion for Dinah to sign it, so it's just that we'll
That-
sign it. So I'll make a
Motion to sign.
motion that the board approves me signing the representation letter to the auditors.
Second,
Discussion, all in favor?
aye.
3-0. Okay, so now we're at,
10-11.
still 10-11?
Mhm.
At
What?
10-11,
Wow.
discharge of lien, we're gonna do that when we recess, and we have to go upstairs and do this in front of one of the 4 notaries that are up there.
Yes, but we can make the motion now that we're gonna sign it in front of the notaries at the end of the meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
3-0 on that. I'll give you a
Okay.
chance to
Give me a
catch
minute,
up.
please.
Yep.
Yep.
So can you put that back on the end of that?
I brought 2 of them just in case something gets screwed up.
So should we send a copy even if it hasn't been, you can send a copy notarized but not recorded to the realtor and to the
Yes.
homeowner so that
They've
they
already-
know
Yeah.
that it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know that
they
it's,
can
said
move forward,
That would
Yes.
be okay,
not
so.
waiting on the mailing to the
Correct.
registry
Correct.
and, good. And I'm looking, these are all
Yeah, what, yeah, those are,
just the receipts, huh?
yeah.
Where are the
what
checks?
you want. You have to sign these.
I got
and
this one
The checks are
signed.
always. My house check.
So there are no checks with this package here.
No, the checks are always in one.
Alright, so, now at 10:13, we go to correspondence of the base flood elevation.
Yeah.
I am
heard
not
about-
aware
Yeah,
of
I kinda
any
thought, yeah.
lot in the district being listed as a flood zone. It's not on the state maps, it's not on any of the maps, so there is no lots in the district that I'm aware of that are listed as flood zone.
So, do we make a motion to inform the inquirer that we have no knowledge of any floodplain maps on any
Do we
items?
have a base flood elevation in your village?
Our
so
answer
it's-
is not that we're aware of.
Correct.
Correct.
So I'll make that a motion, you second it?
Second.
All in favor of that's our response?
Thank you.
Aye.
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 3-0 on that. So, at 10:14, there's no public appearance, no public comments, no non-agenda items. So I'll make a motion that we go into non-public session, followed by a recess of this meeting until tomorrow at 2
Yeah.
at the office, where we'll begin to post 5 houses for non-payment of water bills. So how do you vote on the motion to go into non-public session, Nancy?
Aye.
Nancy votes yes. How does Wood vote?
Aye.
And I vote
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
3-0 on. Thank you, Carol.